Well, Mike, welcome to another episode of NFL Fantasy Matchup. Here we are again in full draft mode. Jed is over in the suburb of Illinois. Jimmy is over in Payson, Arizona. Welcome, everyone.
It's good to see everybody. Hope you're hanging in there. I know, Tommy, you've had a long day at work, so hope everyone hangs in there.
Oh, Jed, here I am sitting there. It's been 8 meetings. You are my number 8, and we're going to try to do a couple episodes here, and we're going to talk about quarterbacks today. And I am an introverted person, and having 8 meetings is a lot for me.
Yeah, and then Tommy and I don't know about you, Jed. Tommy and I are leaving for Asia here in the next couple of weeks. And so I've stacked all my fantasy drafts the first week of September. And my wife is going to kill me because I know that she doesn't mind when we do the snake drafts. The auction drafts are the things that she gets so annoyed about.
Well, we should do more snake drafts then to protect your marriage.
I do like the auction drafts, though.
Auction draft is the best one because I want like Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Wow, you like Dak this year, huh?
Yes, I really do like Dak Prescott this year.
Okay.
He's the guy that would love Dak Prescott.
Okay, yeah, he's definitely a riser. He's been climbing the boards.
Hey, look, I know you're a Russell Wilson fan, so we're going to leave it at that.
Oh, no, I'm not picking Russell Wilson. When did you think I was a Russell Wilson fan?
I don't know. Jackson Dart looks...
I don't know about Jackson Dart either. So I've got Dak Prescott at like number 10, basically right at top 10. So I think that's, and this year in our keeper draft, we limited the number of keepers to 4.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really, so I had to let go of Joe Burrow. So that's going to be interesting because I would have kept him for sure.
Joe Burrow is the guy that I really like this year.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, like the running quarterbacks, the Jalen Hurts of the world, the Jaden Daniels of the world, they're the ones that get the yardage and the points. And so Burrow's better do pretty good, better than last year because he did pretty good last year.
Hey, let's spend some time talking a little bit about tiers in terms of tiers as well too. Jed, I'll start with you. If you were to think through your top tier, first tier, who would it be? What would be on? Would it just be one quarterback or a couple quarterbacks?
No. I've got exactly like what Jimmy was saying. I think the running quarterbacks. You can pick the order, but Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts. Like I think those 4 guys, you've got a combination of passing with running yards. It's really nice back, and then right behind that is Joe Burrow. So that Joe Burrow, I think, is where you can start talking about him as like tier 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jim, would you change anything about the ranking, or would you stay with that tier?
No, I think I would stay with that tier. The only issue the only hesitation I would have is Jaden Daniels. I actually these days would put Lamar Jackson above Josh Allen. I just think that Lamar Jackson has really come through the last couple of years. Jaden Daniels, I've seen second-year quarterbacks not do too well. And so I'm actually tempted to put Joe Burrow in that top tier and taking Jaden Daniels out only because sometimes the second-year quarterbacks I'm a little hesitant on.
Yeah. Hey, Jim, let me ask you a quick question, especially in the top tier. Do you love the top tier so much where you're going to sit there and say, no matter what, I'm going to take the top tier, or you're sitting there, all right, they're okay, but I don't even think about it.
Well, I'll tell you this. Like when I was doing some of the mock drafts, obviously I'm going after Joe Burrow, right? Like he's the guy I want. But I've been tempted many times when I'm looking on the board because Lamar Jackson the last couple of years has always come through for me. And he puts on some really good points. And if I'm looking at him in the 5th round or maybe even the end of the 4th and he's still sitting there, I'm actually really like after I get my running backs, after I get my potential tight end, maybe even a good wide receiver, I'm actually really tempted to go after Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So not me. Yeah, not me at all.
Yeah, I know you don't go for those, right?
No, I wait. For me, quarterback is one of the positions where like I'm fine as long as I get top 10. Like I want. So for example, you're talking about getting Lamar Jackson in the back of the 4th or the 5th. For me, you wait till the 7th, the 8th. Not only is a Dak Prescott available, Kyler Murray is available, even a Brock Purdy is available. I mean, Bo Nix, so if you get Bo Nix, Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, now you can use that end of the 4th or 5th round pick for a running back or a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Jed, I totally agree with you. Hey, look, let everyone go figure out, fight over Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. I want Dak Prescott. I want Bo Nix. I want Baker Mayfield. I'm happy with Baker Mayfield.
Hey, I love the Tampa Bay Bucks and Baker Mayfield. I think that this is a good year to go heavy on the Bucks. I think
You know.
so. I think Mayfield could definitely go higher. He's been going about 7, 8, 9. That's pretty high though. So we'll see how much ceiling he
Okay,
has.
so I know that the last couple of weeks we've talked about Tommy bragged about Rasheed Rice, right? I think Worthy is going to be really good. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is in the second tier. He's no longer the first tier.
Yep.
Some people are speculating that this might be one of those breakout years where Andy Reid's going to go hard and get this offense going. Would you guys pick a Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback this year?
Wait, didn't they say that Rasheed Rice is getting the suspension though?
Probably
I
he
have
will.
not
They
heard
haven't
of that.
announced it yet, but he
But
will probably get a suspension.
yeah, they're speculating
You think this year? Yeah.
4 to 6 games.
Okay.
So I think that is one factor, but I actually disagree with that because I think Andy Reid, they're all about the playoffs. They're not going to kill their guy in the regular season. Yeah, they want the offense to get going and everything, but they're protecting him getting ready for the playoffs. So I don't see that.
But Jed, did you hear the big news between what Travis Kelsey said when Taylor Swift released her CD?
I did not.
He said that last year he got so caught up with being a Hollywood star, it affected his play on the field. But this year, he's focused.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, I know we're going to talk about tight ends later on, but Travis Kelsey is going pretty late in some of these rounds, right? And so, given this Rasheed Rice news and given what happened last year when Rasheed Rice was out and Travis Kelsey went from 5 receptions to an average of close to 12 receptions per game, I actually think Kelsey might be a pretty good bet. The last couple of years I've decided to go after Patrick Mahomes as well as Lamar Jackson, and I'm going to stick with Lamar Jackson this year.
Yeah. But Jim, I bet you a lot of times in some of our snake draft, there are some people by reputation alone will love Patrick Mahomes, and you'll always get someone
Mhm.
who picks him up. And
Yeah.
go ahead, go pick up whoever you want on those guys. I'm just gonna ignore all of those guys.
No, I'll tell you this: like auction, right? When you're looking at auction, and these guys are spending $40 to $50 on Lamar Jackson, that's too rich for me, right? Like I'll get up to maybe $25 for a quarterback. I know, Jed, you're going to stay cheap. You're going to go after the $10 for these
That's
quarterbacks.
right. That's
I
right.
go after $25 for a really good quarterback, but I'm not going to do what some of these guys do and spend like $30, $40 for a quarterback.
Hey, here's a prediction on Travis Kelsey. He will have at least one Sunday that's completely derailed because of Taylor Swift. Like he will not play well because of that. Like there'll be some commotion, something that will blow up, and it'll cause him to not play well one Sunday.
Hmm.
If I could make a bet on that, I would.
I still have high hopes. Hey, Jed, you mentioned you love Baker Mayfield and Bo Nix. Give me an argument for Baker Mayfield and Bo Nix and why you like them.
Well, Baker, I just think the second, I mean, last year was a revelation, right? So I think just settling into the offense, I really like Bucky Irving. I think that's the biggest thing is the really nice balanced offense. And so, Bo Nix definitely saw a lot of flashes in Denver. I think is an exciting place when you look at the backfield as well. I think there's a lot of potential there. We always know the Denver scheme is always going to get, the running backs their yards, but man, it's just tough. Like Jimmy was saying, when you got second year, third year quarterbacks, I mean, just look at CJ Stroud, how high people were on CJ Stroud. And look, Stroud is going into the 19th, 20th quarterbacks now. Remember when we were talking about him as top 5 going into his second year? And so it's just really tough. Sometimes defenses figure people out and then they're just not as good after their first couple of years.
But yeah, at the same time, CJ Stroud still has Tank Dell, who is wonderful as a wide receiver.
We talked about the problem though. Their offensive line. Offensive line is one of the worst in the league in Houston. Right, they're bottom 5. So I don't know. I think that's a lot of problems there.
Yeah. Bo Nix, the one thing I love about him, Sean Payton. I love
Yes.
Sean Payton.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, Coach, you're really good at that, Tommy, is recognizing the scheme of the coaches and playing off of that, like how you like Harbaugh so much with his running game, which really paid out for you last year. So I think that is a really good call, is that Sean Payton, he's going to figure out a way to maximize Bo Nix's skills. So that, if anything, is probably one of the best arguments for him.
Yeah, Jim, do you ever pay attention very much to an offensive coordinator?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why like CJ Stroud isn't going as high. And then in some ways, some people are really banking on Caleb Williams this year because of the offensive scheme. As you guys
Yeah.
are talking though, I wanted, and this is where the AI comes in. We were just talking about AI right before we jumped on. I do wonder if you look at all the winning teams last year, I wonder which quarterback came up the most on the winning team. I'm sure I can Google that or use AI to figure that out. It'd be interesting to just kind of see which quarterback comes up. My guess is it was the Tampa Bay guy. So
Baker
Baker
Mayfield.
Mayfield.
I'm guessing that Baker came up quite a bit. So
Yeah. Hey, Jim, if you had to choose between, here's the next tier of Brock Purdy, Kyler Murray, or Justin Fields, what would you do?
well, I think in that tier, Dak Prescott is there. So if Dak Prescott is there, I'm going to go after a Dak Prescott, right? Brock Purdy, I'm a little worried just because I don't know who his receivers are. You got Jennings, you got Pearsall, you got George Kittle. Ayuk's not going to be there, right? And then Kyler Murray, I actually think will do pretty well with Harrison. I think you're going to see a pretty good year from Harrison. So I think out of that group, I would go after Prescott. I would go after Murray. And it's a toss up for me between Purdy and Fields because I do think that the Jets are going to figure out how to use Fields strategically and let him run, right? Like the Bears in Pittsburgh try to make him a thrower. He's not a thrower, he's a runner. And what you found historically is when he runs, he does actually pretty well.
So according to ChatGPT 5.0, the most recent release,
Yeah.
the player on the most winning teams last year was Jamar Gibbs, followed by Jamar Chase, followed by Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson was the quarterback that was the most common.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you look at Kyler Murray, I think a lot of times Trey Burke will do really, really well. Marvin Harrison, you hope is a starting wide receiver. Last year, a lot of times he didn't do well, but hopefully a lot of times he will excel. That's like a Malik Neighbors. What you thought Malik Neighbors were doing is what you thought Marvin Harrison would be doing. Justin Fields, before he got injured, was in the top 10 quarterback discussion. I think a lot of times his college wide receiver, Garrett Wilson, and him have a great connection from Ohio State. Hopefully that connection will help them out.
From what everyone says, they're really going to focus on the running game, right? Aaron Glenn doesn't seem like the type that's going to air it out every game. And so you're going to look at the Breece Halls of the world, the Braylon Allens of the world, and I think they're going to have Justin Fields run. If you tomorrow were to say that Justin Fields is the top 10 fantasy quarterback for 2025, I actually would believe it.
Yeah. Hey, Jim or Jed, if you had to pick between Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott, who would you pick?
Dak Prescott.
Oh, yeah. I think Dak Prescott probably has higher upside right now than Justin Herbert. I mean, issue Herbert, who is he throwing to? He's got Conkey and what else? I mean, I think Prescott is a good pick.
Yeah. Jim, how about Drake May? He did pretty well for New England.
I'm intrigued by Jake. Okay, the two quarterbacks I'd be intrigued by.
Oh,
right?
We lost him.
So,
there we go.
Yeah.
Sorry, no.
The two quarterbacks I'm intrigued by, Jordan Love and Drake May. If Jordan Love can stay healthy, and right now he's going to have a surgery on his non-throwing hand, I actually think that Jordan Love is going to do pretty well. And I bet on him last year, didn't do too well, and I had to end up getting a new quarterback. But I'm intrigued by those two quarterbacks.
Yeah. Jed, who is the one quarterback you just stay away from? You're sitting there, okay, I'm not even going to touch them. It's just not on my radar, but it's a popular quarterback.
Oh, well, Patrick Mahomes, mainly because of the cost. Like he's either going too high, too early, or too, if you're doing an auction, too expensive. So that's one guy. Yeah, other than those, honestly, for me, quarterback is not a huge, again, as long as I'm in the top 10, I'm fine. I don't think there's anyone that I'm really like avoiding. But you know what? I'll say Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I know he's going low, but I don't know what is wrong with Jacksonville. I'm not looking at a Trevor Lawrence. I think Tua is going low. I know there's the huge injury risk, but if you have to get a backup second quarterback and you pick up a Tua, I don't think that's a bad move. I think Bryce Young in Carolina is going to do a lot better than people think. I wouldn't be surprised if he cracked like top 15. But no, there's really nobody that I'm actively avoiding.
Cam Ward, I'm sure you're not even paying attention to Cam Ward.
No, I mean Tennessee. You don't know. I mean, again, new quarterback, and let's see. I mean, he was certainly accurate in college, so we got to see. You never know. He could, as a backup, that's not a bad flyer to pick up.
Yeah, yeah. Jim, if I was to sit there and give you, how about J.J. McCarthy or Jared Goff?
I think Goff, just because he's more proven. Um, McCarthy, you saw that Justin Jefferson is still injured, and who's Jordan Addison is going to
Addison,
be
yeah.
out. He's suspended, right? And
Yeah.
so there's quite a few questions around that, and so I would go after Jared Goff.
Yeah. Jed, if you were to look at Matthew Stafford or Tua over in Miami.
Yeah, I like Tua just for, I mean, upside. I think as long as he stays healthy. Stafford's been interesting, right? He hasn't played. We haven't seen him. So I think that's been kind of an issue. You got to figure at some point age is going to catch up to him. So for me, I'd take Tua in that situation.
You know what they've been saying is Stafford has had back problems, and
Mm.
those old quarterbacks, once you have back problems, those back problems stay with you. But he's got Devontae Adams and Puka Nakua, right? And so if he can stay healthy, those are two pretty decent receivers.
Jed, you know who my backup quarterback will be, right? Aaron Rodgers.
Oh no.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be my backup quarterback. Jim,
So
Aaron Rodgers or Geno Smith?
Geno Smith, I'll go after Geno Smith. I hate Aaron Rodgers.
yes, exactly. I can't pick him just because I don't
And
like him.
Aaron Rodgers.
But I will say, Tommy, I think the connection with DK Metcalf is going to be worth it. So
Yeah,
I think that is a smart move, and he is going to laser lock in on DK Metcalf and just feed that guy. So Metcalf's another guy in the wide receiver pool I really like.
yeah. Hey, look, it's his last year. Pittsburgh has improved their offensive line. If I had a backup, Dak Prescott, and then from that point, Aaron Rodgers.
That's
Yeah.
not a bad play.
I mean, guy. Okay, so seriously, as you're thinking about it, don't you think Joe Burrow is the best bet as quarterback? Because if you can get somebody in the fifth or sixth round who's going to get you 25 to 30 points every game, Joe Burrow is the type of guy who's going to be able to do that.
Oh, if he's sitting there in the fifth or sixth round and no one's taking him, I will be taking Joe Burrow. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know that a lot of times everyone will be taking Josh Allen, Jaden Daniels, all that stuff. And then they'll probably take him about the third round. So now you're sitting there in the sixth or seventh round. Then, yeah, I would definitely take Joe Burrow.
Okay, this is my hope. I hope some idiot takes Josh Allen. I hope somebody's going to go after Jaden Daniels, and then they're going to go after Jalen Hurts, and then they're going to leave Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow for me to pick up. That's my wish this year.
Yeah. But you know what happens if we're all drafting together, Jed? We're all going to be paying attention. And if it's sixth or seventh round, Joe Burrow, whoever is up first is the one getting him.
Yeah. That's the problem with doing a podcast. We screw up our fantasy. Although we did okay last year, so we got to keep.
No, not. It's not just a snake. It's the auction, right?
Yeah.
Because if I know Tommy's going to go after Dak Prescott, I'm going to sit there and increase that bid a couple more dollars just so he can spend some dollars, right? I'm not going to let him take Dak Prescott for $10.
Okay, speaking of draft, let me ask you guys a question. Draft strategy. When it's your turn to propose a player, do you propose a player that you like, or do you propose a player that you know will just everyone will love and they're just going to sit there and put a lot of money on it?
Yes, I always do that. Mhm.
Yep, same.
Yeah. Somebody I don't want. Like, who am I thinking of this year that would be like that? Like a Christian McCaffrey. I don't want Christian McCaffrey. I'm going to put.
You're trading him to me. We're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
trade.
I don't want Christian McCaffrey. I know somebody's going to put $50 on him, right? So I'm going to throw him out there. I'm going to force somebody to spend their money on Christian McCaffrey.
For me, it's Patrick Mahomes. I always throw Patrick Mahomes out there because I know someone's going to spend a lot.
Or
of money.
Travis Kelce. With our Chicago friends, someone's bound to pick up a bear just because it's a bear.
I
like
bet
the
you
Bears.
it's going to be someone like a Devontae Adams who's older, and everyone's going to sit there. Oh, yeah, I remember because they didn't pay attention to where Devontae Adams and all that stuff, and they're going to sit there and just suddenly $30. And I'm saying, oh, sure, go ahead, I
Yeah.
don't care.
Okay, so hey, I know we talked about running backs last week, and I thought about that this week. DeAndre Swift, because of Eric Bieniemy for the Bears, actually might be a pretty decent pickup this year. Maybe not RB1, but at least RB2. But that's my running back thought.
I don't know because of everyone behind him. Like the I gotta figure out how to pronounce his name. Kyle is it,
Manungai.
yeah,
Kyle Manungai.
Manungai.
Yeah.
Manungai. He looks really good. And then you got Roshan Johnson there too. So I just feel like there's gonna be a lot behind him. That's the worry.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One quarterback. Do you believe that Anthony Richardson from Indianapolis is done?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
so this year, remember I always said there's teams I like to stay away from. Indianapolis is one of them. I'm not touching anybody on Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, nobody. I don't want
Not
anyone from that
Pittman.
team.
You don't like
Not
Pittman?
Pittman. I don't
Josh
want
Down?
anyone from that team. Nope.
Yeah.
I will say I think we're going to talk about rookies in a second. The rookie tight end in Indianapolis. What's the guy's name? That's one guy that, but I'm not going to draft him because Warren, some guy named Warren. He's the
Tyler
rookie.
Warren.
Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's worth a look, but I don't want anyone from
Mm-hmm.
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Jim, if you had to sit there and predict a breakout, just a breakout that no one's paying attention, do any of you guys look good? Cam Ward, Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shaw, Jackson Dart, or Shador Sanders?
Sanders did pretty good last week, but I don't trust him. Out of that group, I would place a bet on Jackson Dart with New York. I think partly because he's got Malik Neighbors. Partly's, like Dayball's been known to do well offensively, so I would go after Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I mean that's not bad. Or Sanders. I think Sanders is not bad either. Spencer Rattler. I remember him from Oklahoma days. I would not touch that.
Yeah.
You know how many
How about-
quarterbacks Cleveland has these days? They got so many quarterbacks. They got to trade one or two of them, those guys.
At the end of the year, will it be Michael Penix or Kirk Cousin?
Michael Penix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Penix.
I
Hopefully Cousins will get.
I think they're just trying to look for somebody to trade.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Hopefully they'll get. So here's my big take though. So everybody likes in Las Vegas. Was it
Geno
Ginty?
Smith,
Ginty?
yeah.
No, the running back. Everyone likes
Genty. Genty.
yeah, Genty. Everyone likes Genty. I like the guy out of New England, Trayvon
Oh,
Henderson.
Travion Henderson. Yes.
I think Henderson is going to have better points, more stats than Genty at the end of the year. That's like my big take on a big swing.
Enough for you to bid $80.
No, not $80. Not for that guy.
Tom, would you bet $80?
I would do it on Genty.
Okay, so the Genty's the guy I'll throw out there for you guys. Let you spend your money.
What, Genty, I'm thinking about Genty. Hey, look, remember on my keeper team that I'm playing with you guys, I have Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Brian
Yeah.
Thomas. All right,
You're
So I
loaded.
think he's a good running back.
Yeah.
So, hey, any last thoughts as we're beginning to wrap up on quarterbacks or anything like that? Thoughts, Jed, Jim?
Look, I mean, you guys know where I stand. I'm going to go after Lamar. I'm going to go after Burrow, and if those two are gone, I'm gonna roll my dice and go after Jordan Love or Drake May. Those are my four quarterbacks I'm looking at.
Yeah, I would just say wait. You got to pick. Well, you got to pick which positions. There's at least one or two positions you're going to have to say, you know what, I got to wait and I got to draft further down the line. And usually it's either quarterback or tight end, some combination. And I think quarterback is the one I'm going to wait.
Yeah. And for me, a lot of times I love waiting for my quarterbacks, let everyone fight over the quarterbacks. But if I walk away and I get either Dak Prescott or Bo Nix, I would be very happy. I bet you a lot of times Bo Nix will continue to fall because people aren't familiar. But I love Sean Payne. Look at what he did with Drew Brees. And so a lot of times I'm going to keep waiting for Bo Nix. And I think last year he just did great. He was a very, very good quarterback last year.
So then you got to pair with Jerry Jeudy, right? Like he would be a good pick then.
Well, Jerry Judy's with Cleveland. So with this one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Cortland
Sutton.
Sutton. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it can't be who's the running back that I always love? Who's with Dallas now? Man, with Javonte Williams. All right?
Javonte Williams.
I
Yeah.
love Javonte Williams. Oh man. Hey, let me ask you a quick question as we wrap up over here. Jed, for you, what is is there a draft strategy that you like? Do you like the middle round? Would you in snake drafts the end of the round, the beginning of the round? What do you like?
I mean, I think it's pretty much proven. Like this idea that you like the end of the round better than earlier in that round is not. It's like totally like false. Like you want as high of a draft pick as you can get. This whole idea that like because you can pick two straight that it helps you, it's really not true. You want the highest pick you can get. I think the biggest thing is just loading up on particular positions. So for me, I think wide receiver is deep this year. So I want to load up on running back, and I'm okay with going later for wide receiver. We already talked about quarterbacks, but I think that's the biggest thing is in your head, you want to think, okay, in my first four picks, how many positions do I cover? Is it two running backs, two wide receivers? Is it two running backs, a quarterback, and a tight end? Like you need to think about what are the positions you want to fill. And for me, it's usually going to be two wide receivers and two running backs.
Yeah, Jim.
I think you guys know where I stand, right? I always say that you never end the season with the running backs you started with. And so my strategy is always a little bit different. I want a really good quarterback. I want pretty good wide receivers like Jamar Chase level. I want a good tight end, and I'm willing to gamble on the running backs.
Yeah, yeah. And for me, a lot of times is I want to load up on players that I could trade throughout the entire season. I'm looking at bargain basement deals like Rashee Rice, who is sitting there injured. I'll look at Najee Harris, who's sitting there. I'll look at J.K. Dobbins, all of those guys who is injured because at the end of the day, whatever I started with is not what I ended up with. I want trading pieces. I am sitting there getting myself. I don't care about playoff positions. I want to get into the eighth seed and then figure out where to go from there.
It's a good strategy. It works.
Yep, yep, yep. Any last things before we wrap up here? Jed, last final thoughts.
If you are new to fantasy and you have not done your homework, or if you're a regular player, try using ChatGPT this year. Try using some AI. It can help you out. We just did a little piece. We were just talking about AI and how it can help. And we were asking who's the most common player last year from winning fantasy football teams, and it right away picked up Lamar Jackson, and others that were on Jamar Gibbs that were on the winningest team. So use AI to help you in your research. Especially if you're last minute, you only got an hour to prepare before your draft, and you'll do a lot better this year.
Yeah. What's a good prompt that you would give to the audience?
You could just say like, help me identify like what should be my first five picks, in this year's fantasy football draft, or who are some players I should target, in my fantasy football draft this year. Just talk to it like you would be talking to one of us, and then whatever results you get back. Remember, with ChatGPT, you can always say critique your response. And then it'll give you the pros and cons of what it just said to you. And then you can say, revise your response based on that. And it'll revise it and give you like better output. There's other little tricks to making it like better. So for example, you can always say, make sure you cite all your references, things like that. But use AI. This is a great way to learn. I know a lot of people are scared of it. This is a great way to learn how to use AI.
Yeah. Jim, what's a prompt that you would recommend using with ChatGPT?
With Dynasty, I'm interested in kind of seeing what are some of the bargain players that are available that no one else is paying attention to. People that I can pick up for, let's say, $5, $2, $3. Those are some of the things I'm looking for. I know that we also play in a league where we have IDPs, independent defensive players. And so I think ChatGPT will also help us to identify some of those folks, right? I'm looking for a good combination of both tackles as well as sacks. And that's where I'm looking for those linebackers as well, too.
Yeah, I would probably ask ChatGPT, give me the offensive coordinators who throw the most. And then from that point on, that'll allow me to identify the wide receivers as well as the quarterbacks, or which offensive coordinators love to run the most, and put it all on the spreadsheet that I could download it on Excel. So now I'm able to see how everything works well together.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, I love ChatGPT. I would probably say I really enjoy ChatGPT. I use it quite a lot for a lot of different things.
Same. Big fan.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk soon, everyone.
Sounds good.